Well, we are waiting to see if we can get first technical difficulties of the day about getting Pablo to be on screen for our Q&A. And I don't have, if you have any Q&As, you can put them in the Q&A panel. And if we are not able to get Pablo here, we will get those questions answered to you as soon as we can. He's saying to me, he's like, he's doing that thing that directors do that says keep talking. So here we go, keep talking. So I do want to say how, once again, I do want to thank ABYC for letting us use their space. This is an amazing space they have here in Annapolis. And you can't see it because I've got this backdrop behind me, but on the other side of that, we overlook some nice marina and some nice sailboats and other boats. It's really kind of nice. It puts me in the nautical mood, nautical state of mind. I thought Brian Goodwin was going to come up and join me for some jokes or something. Oh, he's going to. So we can have Brian help with the Pablo's questions. Oh no, he's going to. All right, let's switch over.
Hey, Stacy, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good, good. So just a little information, right? ABYC's office is on Back Creek in Annapolis, so it's a great place to watch sometimes what not to do on boats. We've seen roller furlers come undone in storms, lightning strikes. Uh, Kids out on their boats. It's a great location, but yeah.
Nice. So, yeah.
And any questions for Pablo? We still missing Pablo?
Yeah, we are still missing Pablo, but that's okay. I think Pablo provided a lot of good information. Thanks, Brian, for coming in and doing a
Absolutely.
few things. So what we will do is we're just going to transition into, I do see some Q&As on there. I will say that the website for applications for the National Nonprofit Grant Program, we will provide those to you later. I wonder if Vern's going to come up and answer some questions for me.
If he agrees with my answer.
And I will to the other person who's got on there. So they've asked about successfully grants that were successful. They're on the Coast Guard website, which is currently down, but will be up soon. You can have you can look at the grant section on that website, and it will show you past awardees. So you can see the kinds of things the Coast Guard is looking for, especially for the nonprofit grants. They're pretty wide and ones that are national significance versus a local program. So, and the deadline, it depends. The notice of funding opportunities is not out yet, but when it comes out, it will probably be a 30-day turnaround only because of the time frame issues this year. And so Pam asks a really good question, and I will shoot this over to Vern because he should know this without Pablo's help. Okay. So the question Pam asks, will the NOFO focus on specific areas of interest from the U.S. Coast Guard strategic plan?
Yes, Pam, the
Yeah.
NOFO will focus on areas of interest. Excuse the awkward sight of me holding a phone, but I've got Pablo here to check any answer I give you. But I do know that presently we have areas of interest incorporated into this year's grants.
All right, thanks. And Cody asks a terrific question. He's asking, so if you're a longtime IBWSS person who's gone for a long time, there used to be this thing called the Summit Singers, and he's asked if I'm going to sing for that. But I think I will break the equipment if I do that. So not this time, Cody, but maybe next year we'll do that. So we're going to do one more question through Vern to Pablo, right? And that question is, you ready, Vern? You ready for that question? Okay. So how can state and local partners best position their programs to align with evolving federal priorities while still addressing local safety needs?
So I think that answer goes back to the previous question, which was look at the areas of interest and also look at the strategic plan. So between the two of those documents, you get to see at least what the focus of the program is. And I think the other thing that you can do is what you're doing right now, which is participate with the recreational boating safety community, because you get to see what our priorities are and then can better target those priorities in grant applications. Any additions to that, Pablo? He said I hit it right on the head. So
All right,
I'm
good.
Pablo
Good
certified.
job, Vern. Yeah. Okay. So, so one of the questions Pam Dillon has asked is whether or not the areas of interest have been announced and can they be shared ahead of time. Now, I'm going to try to answer that, and then have Vern double check it, and then Pablo triple check it. So, they have not been announced because they'll be in the NOFO, and they can't share them ahead of time because they haven't been approved yet. Would that be right? I don't know if Vern was listening to my.
Yes, right now we cannot share the areas of interest. I know in the past we have, but as everyone's aware, there's slightly different policies and procedures in place this year. I think collectively we've seen everybody's reasonable when it comes to reviewing these, but because it's the first time through, we just have to get approval on the areas of interest as we do with the NOFO before we can share information. Any addition to that, Pablo?
Pablo approve your?
He gave me a B.
He gave you a B?
Gave me a B. So yeah, so what Pablo's adding is that we have multiple layers reviewing the NOFO and the AOIs, but as soon as we can share it, we will. And so now I look back to my Leadership Academy class valedictorian and make sure that she approves of the answer.
That's great. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Vern, for stepping in for Pablo. Perfect. We are good to go. And I'm going to talk about our next session. Okay. So once again, we're heading to a new session. I'm going to introduce it. You're going to go back out to the lobby, and then you're going to join back in the next session. In that session, of course, there's going to be opportunities for Q&A. So be sure to put those in the Q&A. The questions you may have asked that maybe didn't get answered, we got those for you. We'll put them in the chat or do some follow-up afterwards. Okay, so our next session highlights a strong example of international collaboration. We'll be hearing about ongoing efforts to harmonize life jacket standards between the US and Canada, including what's changing with labeling and performance expectations. As you listen to this next presentation, think about how will the new labeling systems affect boater understanding and compliance? What challenges might law enforcement officers run into during this transition period? And how can we better educate the public so they clearly understand what these changes mean for them? So in a few minutes at 2:45, so you have a few minutes, but at 2:45, we'll ask Tom Dardis to come on with his panel. Thank you very much.